Ruben Amorim. He is going to come in and implement his style. We've been told that throughout this programme now with how set he is on his style and his identity, which is what Manchester United have completely lacked.
Yeah.
Not just under Erik ten Hag, but for a very long time. This 3-4-3 system, it's not something Manchester United fans are used to, really, from back to Sir Alex. It's not something that's synonymous at Old Trafford, 3 at the back. Because essentially you're saying, take an attacker off and let's get an extra centre-half in there.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
So when you say it on face value, it sounds a bit negative. How do you think Ruben Amorim will implement that?
Well, what I would say to sort of the negativity, do you remember when Thomas Tuchel came into Chelsea and went 3-4-3? Do you remember what happened at the end of that season?
Yeah.
Won the Champions League.
How bad was it?
I'm not suggesting that he's going to come in and...
I remember Antonio Conte took a drubbing off Arsenal at the Emirates and then switched to a back three as well, won the league.
Absolutely. I think it was a 3-0 drubbing in September and then...
Just changed it
and won it. So, look, I think it's a little bit unrealistic to think he's going to change it and everything's going to be great straight away. But it's going to take a little bit of time. We know that he's good with the media. We know that he's very good with youngsters. We know that one of the biggest problems with Ten Hag is there hasn't been an identity. And we also know there will be an identity. So that won't be thrown at Ruben Amorim. What is that? Well, he wants to play out from the back. With the 3-4-2-1, he wants his centre-halves to... They don't always have to be the most physical, but they have to be able to play. They have to be able to start from the back and put it into midfield, put it out wide and have little passes.
Do we have that? Just as we go through this, I'm just going to sort of think to myself, OK, that's the starting point. Martinez, comfortable on the ball, likes to play.
Yeah.
De Ligt, not outstanding on the ball, but comfortable. Comes from the Ten Hag and the Ajax school of thought, 17-year-old captain, Ajax, so he can play a bit. Maguire's a ball-playing centre-half.
Yes,
Lenny Yoro can play. So there's 3 centre-halves there already. Johnny Evans is really good on the ball. Who can play that?
Absolutely. So I think we've got that. The main issue might be the wing-backs.
Yeah.
Now, in the big games for Sporting, he's not afraid to have sort of full-backs playing in that position. In the games where he believes he wants to be on the attack, it's not that he's playing wingers as such, but he's playing physically good, athletic, but also technically good players as well there. Do United have those players?
Well, I'm looking at Dalot as an obvious right wing back.
Good, yeah.
I think he's technically sound. He's not having the best season now. No. It was Man United's player of the season last year, even though the bar was low. But he's technically sound. He's got a great engine. He's powerful. He's fine at inverting and finding himself in central areas. He can check his wing mirrors. He's all right with that. He can play a pass. He's got a good shot on him and he can put a ball in the box as well. Yeah, so Dalot is a technically sound footballer. He needs to improve. In a good system, I've got no problems with him being a right wing back. Left wing back is an issue.
That's a problem.
Because you can't rely on Luke Shaw. In my eyes, it's time to move him on. It's too many injuries. Mazraoui is technically sound. I think he could play that role, but he's got his injury problems as well. But he's been sound for 12 million. So he can probably...
your way?
I have no idea, mate.
Yeah.
Eric kept saying to us, you expect him back, they're not going to force him back shortly. But he's been out for ages with 2 knee ops, so you've got to take
So my question is,
but he can play it.
Take into account the injuries and the plays that you've got. Is that a problem area at the moment?
It's a problem area, but it'll probably be Mazraoui. Okay. And even he's injured at the minute.
Yeah. So, and again, we talk about Bruno. Does he... I've already heard maybe he could be alongside Ugarte. That means there's no Manu. I think in terms of what he likes for his 2 centre midfielders, I remember covering Portuguese football a couple of years ago, and I remember it was Mateus Nunes, who obviously is in the Premier League now. Then there was Paulinho, who obviously did really well for Fulham, and then there was Ugarte. I don't have a problem with him not quite working at PSG. I think that club in itself is in a big transition. It's difficult to do.
Managers or players, it never seems.
So, and I've seen him, mate. Honestly, I've seen him play. I covered a game in the Lisbon derby where Benfica won. He was the standout player on the pitch and he was playing for Sporting.
Yes, God.
So I know there's a player there. For me, in that system, Manu Ugarte looks right.
Yeah.
But then where do we play Bruno? If it's a 3-4-2-1, then he can be one of those players that can come in and help make the box midfield, almost like 2 10s. Mm-hmm. He can definitely do that. But then it's a little bit lopsided if you're going to play Garnacho or Rashford. That's the big issue for me. I don't know what it's like for you as a United
Absolutely,
fan.
that's what I'm looking at.
How do you get the best out of your jewel in the crown?
It's very, very difficult, and this is the conundrum because, like you said, if he plays the 3-4-3, you've got your front 3, and you say Rashford and Garnacho / Ahmad. There isn't really much change to what you guys do. I want you to stay high and wide, chalk on your boots. Yes, there might be some different instructions in terms of timing your runs from outside to win. How much I want you central, how much I want you to show or go beyond or come to. That will have to happen. But in terms of your general positioning, they'll be where they need to be. If you're asking someone like Rashford, to have this sort of hybrid left wing back sort of. No, that can't happen.
No,
Same with Garnacho. If we're asking him to play as inside 10s, inside forwards, it's going to take a bit of coaching. But again, what we know with Marcus Rashford is he is best out wide when you can see the goal, when he's got space to run into, head down, off you go. So it's going to take a lot of good coaching for Ruben Amorim to solve this.
Yeah, and let me tell you, as a fullback, I wouldn't have liked to have played Marcus Rashford, not when he's fully fit.
The prime Rashford when he's on it, going at you.
Going at you, direct, step overs, can go down the outside, can come on the inside, but predominantly he's starting from the wing position. If you're coming from a number 10 position, that's not necessarily his position.
Rashford back to goal in little pockets, it's not really him.
It's not. So then we're looking at up front as well. I like Højlund, I do. I feel that, and I know it's not just Manchester United, but there are clubs all over the world that have gone down the youth, the sell-on, or look to buy potential. Manchester United, that number 9 shirt, for me, you should have a ready-made world-class international. And they haven't got that at the moment. So that's a problem. You bought Højlund last season. You bought Xerxes this season. Can Rashford play as that number 9? We know he doesn't really like it, but can he play?
In this system, do you know what? I haven't really thought about that. Maybe you could just... Look, in the history tells us, and I know you guys will be watching at home, going, look, let's not do this, United fans. Rashford is a number 9. We've been there. He can't hold the ball up. Back to goal is not him. But we have to be open-minded.
Can he, if he's not a number 9 and he is just a wide player, and Ruben Amorim wants his wide players to be like 10s,
then he doesn't.
Can he do that?
Yeah.
So there's a question, mate.
There is a lot of questions. Yeah. Listen, Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been great. Getting a deep dive into Portuguese football and your experiences from playing out there and on Ruben Amorim.
I loved it out there. I really loved playing out in Portugal. And what I would say is Ruben Amorim is one of the top young up-and-coming managers. It's just the question is, we go back to the animal that is the Premier League and the animal that is United within the Premier League. How's he going to do? That's still, we don't know. But what we do know, hopefully he's the right man.
That's all we've got time for after another special edition of Inside Devils. A big thank you to Scott Minto, Tom Cunder, Ben Jacobs, and of course, Angelina Kelly. We'll see you on Sunday for the big one at Old Trafford as we take on Chelsea. Will it be Ruben Amorim in the dugout, or will Ruud van Nistelrooy get the chance to wheel us out and absolutely destroy Chelsea, who think that we're not going to have a new manager bounce? Yes, we are. Get involved in the comments, smash a like on the video, and we'll see you on the next episode on Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.